I didn't raise my voice. I didn't call a lawyer. I didn't chain myself to a tree or make a scene. I just walked down to the barn, sharpened my fencing shears, and rebuilt the line that had been there since 1912, the one that marked what was mine. And in doing so, I turned their private road into a private problem. You don't trespass on a man's legacy and expect him to look the other way. Not here. Not in Texas. My name's Travis Holt. I'm 38 years old, served 2 tours in Iraq with the Army Combat Engineers, and I've spent most of my life on 83 acres of hilly scrubland just outside of Kerrville, Texas. This land's been in my family for 4 generations. My great-grandfather bought it in the spring of 1912, using money saved from years hauling freight for the Southern Pacific Rail line. He cleared mesquite by hand and built the barn himself. He planted windbreaks along the northern ridge that still stand today. My dad, rest his soul, was a quiet man who believed that fences weren't just about property. They were about respect. And when I came home after the war, I picked up where he left off. It started like this. I came back from a weekend hunting trip with my buddy Ray, pulled into the south pasture to check the wellhead, and noticed something odd. A new iron gate. Big one. Motorized, too. Fresh gravel road cutting across my back trail like it belonged there. I blinked, thinking maybe I was on the neighbor's land by mistake. But no. I know every cedar tree, every bend of this place. This was my land, and somebody had cut a damn road through it. I followed the gravel west, past the live oak grove, until I saw it. Bulldozers, concrete mixers, and shiny white SUVs parked along a bluff overlooking what used to be a seasonal creek. Beyond that, a sign. Canyon Heights, luxury homes from the mid-900s. I drove straight up to the foreman. He glanced at my truck, saw the ranch plates, and looked nervous. "You lost?" he said. "No," I said. "Are you?" Turns out I wasn't the only one surprised. The developer, a slick guy named Blake Kinney, showed up the next day in loafers and sunglasses. Said his company had secured a utility easement for a back access road to their subdivision. Claimed it was all legal. Acquired during COVID when the county switched to digital records. The land was dormant, he said. Unused. I asked him if he had a survey. He did. I asked him if he had a copy of the deed. He didn't. That's when I smiled. Because here's the thing about digital land records. They're incomplete. Always are. The real stuff? It's buried in courthouse basements, in boxes nobody's touched in 60 years. I spent the next 3 days digging through those dusty records. Found what I needed in a handwritten clause attached to the original 1912 mineral and surface deed. In plain language, no right-of-way, easement or crossing shall be granted or inferred to private entities for purposes of development or resale. That clause wasn't in their digital file, but it was in mine. Signed, notarized, filed. I didn't call them. I didn't warn them. I just rebuilt the fence. Started at the southeast corner and worked clockwise. Hired a crew of old-timers who knew how to lay post with precision. We didn't cut corners. We followed the 1912 boundary markers, some of them still marked by old mesquite stakes and faded iron rebar. We looped right around the road, built the fence behind the gate they installed. One morning, the construction team arrived to find themselves boxed in. Literally. Their access road, now inside my property, with no legal outlet. Kinney flipped, called me 20 times, sent emails, threatened lawsuits. I didn't respond. I just kept working. I knew what was coming, and I was ready for it. Sure enough, they filed for a temporary injunction, claimed I was interfering with approved infrastructure. We went to court in early April. I wore jeans and a clean button-down. Brought my documents in a plastic feed store folder. Their legal team came in like they owned the place. Glossy binders, color-coded tabs, flowcharts. They smirked when I handed the judge a single photocopy. But then the judge started reading. and suddenly their faces changed. "Is this clause recorded?" the judge asked. "Yes, Your Honor. Filed March 12, 1912, Box 4B, County Archive Room." "Is it listed in the updated digital record?" "No, ma'am. It was never digitized." "Is it legally binding?" "Still recorded and unchallenged, Your Honor." The courtroom got real quiet. The ruling came down hard. The easement was invalid. All construction across my property had to cease immediately. The road had to be removed. Damages? Pending. And the HOA? Let's just say their investment portfolio took a bath that day. They tried to settle privately, offered to buy a 30-foot strip of land for $500,000. I declined. Offered again, this time with a seat on their advisory board. I laughed. Then I added one last touch, a locked livestock gate at the far end of the road, facing their development. The sign on it reads, "Private Ranch Road. No through access. Violators will be towed by tractor." And every morning, I still ride that trail. Same one my dad rode, same one his dad did. The sun comes up over the ridge and casts long shadows through the fence line. Nature's starting to reclaim the gravel. Grass pushing up through tire ruts. Coyotes running through what was once going to be their clubhouse parking lot. I stop by the gate sometimes, sip coffee from my thermos, and think about how close they came to taking what wasn't theirs. Thing is, I'm not against development. I'm not against progress. But if you want to build something, earn it. Don't steal it. Don't sneak through the back door and expect the old man on the porch to be too dumb or too tired to stop you. This land's not just dirt and brush. It's memory. It's blood and sweat and fence posts driven into rocky soil. It's legacy. And some legacies come with teeth.